up, YouTube fam? Mr.PeeebZ here. In today's video, we're going to be replacing the furnace filter. If you've replaced a bunch of filters before and you're mechanically inclined, you know what you're doing, this video ain't for you. You can go ahead and skip to the next one. If you've never replaced a furnace filter before, or if you've pulled the filter out, set it to the side because the kids were running around or the dog was barking, and happened to grab the new one and go to put it in there, you're scratching your head. You're scratching your head thinking, which way does the filter go? This video is for you. When you're replacing the filter, there's only two ways the airflow can go in this particular model, which is my carrier. You have arrow down and arrow up. Your furnace might not be as easy to comprehend as mine. You might have a furnace in your basement. I don't have a basement. This is a crawl space. I can tell you right now, based on my furnace and how it's set up, with 100% certainty, the arrow is going down. How do I know that? Because I have a bottom discharge furnace. The air goes down through the floor, through the crawl space, and up through all the supply grills that I have around the house. Once it comes up through the supply grills, it goes up into my return and all the way back through to be returned back to the furnace for it to be cooled or heated to help supply the house. And your furnace might be different. You might have a furnace that's in your basement that looks something like this, or this, or maybe this. The three main words that we're going to be learning today are going to be airflow, supply, and return. It's like the circle of life. You have the supply. Supplies your house with hot or cold air. Goes up through the return or down through the return, depending on which way your house is set up and configured, and back into your furnace to be reheated or recooled, to go back and forth. It's like a big giant circle of life. It also depends where your filter's sitting. Sometimes your filter might not be up here on an easy spot on top of the return coming in with an arrow up and down. It might be side discharge off the bottom, and it might be this way or this way. I'll tell you this. Remember when you were a child in school, 2 or 3 years old, and they had all the little toys, the ball that goes in the round circle, the triangle that fits into the triangle, the star shape that fits into the star shape? I can tell you right now, just based on the layout of my furnace, there's only two ways the filter could go in. One, the arrow down, or two, arrow up. It ain't gonna go in this way because look, it ain't gonna fit. It doesn't fit that way. Your furnace is going to be very similar at your house. There's only going to be two ways it can go. Are you a gambling person? You want to gamble? 50-50 shot? Is it going to work? Is it not going to work? That's on you. I know me personally and the way I hold myself accountable, I want to make sure that I can tell you for 100% certainty, I would bet my life that this arrow is fitting and going in the direction that the airflow goes. So today, I'm going to give you some hints and tricks. Follow the ductwork. Use some common knowledge. Follow the ductwork. This goes up into the ceiling. Okay, well, come with me and I'll show you why I know that this is the return. Follow me. Alright, this is why I know that my particular furnace, the top duct coming into the furnace is the return. Because look up here. As you can see, this is a return grill. Return grills have no adjustment to open or close. They stay open all the time with no adjustment. That's a dead giveaway. Any grill, most of the times, should have for a return grill, should just be one standard grill that doesn't open or close. It just stays open and has no adjustment. That kind of gives you a dead giveaway of where it is. So you kind of use your general knowledge. Okay, this is up here. The ductwork coming from up top is clearly the return. I'm looking down here, and a dead giveaway if it's the middle of the summer or if in the middle of the winter when you turn your furnace or air conditioner on, put your hand in front of it. If you can feel air blowing out of it, that's your supply. Dead giveaway. And also note, there's an adjustment knob on here to close and choke off the amount of air supply, get it? That comes in and out of each room. If you don't want it to be in your spare bedroom that no one ever stays in, you close the supply to that. This is just some general basic knowledge to help you at home decipher which way to put your filter in. The most easiest possible way to solve this whole problem and not have to do any investigating yourself, I like to go by a little acronym: KISS, keep it simple, stupid. Just look at your previous one, it's caveman style. This one was arrow down. You just copy the way that it is. Just copy the arrow that's already there, and you ain't even got to do nothing. The only reason I'm giving you these precautions and teaching you all this stuff is A, just so the general person, the DIYer, grandma, anybody that's wanting to do this but maybe has never done it before, has some common knowledge about airflow, supply, return, and what direction it's going. Plus, how can you trust the person that put in the previous one? Who put in the previous one? Did the HVAC guy, was he out on break, taking care of business? You never know. He might have been under the influence of drugs or narcotics. You can't trust these people. You can only trust yourself and the knowledge that you equip your brain with. Once you locate where your furnace filter is, replacing it is simple. It takes 2 seconds. Open the door. I like to remove it. Pull out your old crappy filter. Notice the airflow down. The arrow is facing down. That's what we want to do here. Pull the old one out. There's usually a finger knob that's perforated. You get your finger in there, hook it, pull it out. It doesn't matter if you damage it, it's the old one. Look how dirty that is. We're going to be replacing it with this filter here. Notice the difference between the two filters. Alright, here we go. I got the airflow down. It's already dated. We're sliding it in. Boom. Put the door back on. It's got a pin hinge. And it's finger-tighted screw. Right there. I also want to let this be known too. Some furnaces, not all, have an airflow arrow on the actual sheet metal itself. If you'd like to come here and take a look at this. You see how it says airflow? Right here it says airflow. Look on the unit. A lot of times someone, if you get a good tech or a good sheet metal worker that did your duct work, they'll put the arrow right on the ductwork for you too. If your furnace is in the basement like the previous photos I showed you, it's quite simple to just do some deductive reasoning, find out which way your side discharge or your top discharge is coming out, follow the ductwork, be that one with the air. Follow the ductwork to figure out, is this a supply or is this a return? If it's a supply, you could troubleshoot where that one is, put an arrow on that piece, find the return. Double check it, and if that's the return, put an arrow. Putting an arrow on it yourself will make it idiot-proof for years to come. I hope this video helped you guys at home with replacing your filter in your furnace. And if not, well, hopefully you learned something about airflow, return, and supply. Thank you for your time and have a blessed day.